in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead. We could go all night.
I've been calm, cool, collected, but you pushing on my nerves, and I'm knowing your intention, I'm under pressure. Okay, I'm admitting that a couple things I said got acidic in the tone, in the presence I get careless. Long as you know I come with imperfections. When you look at me, you see the soul through my flesh, you something special. Know you looking bomb, the way you dress it, gone, flex it, hold it still and let my mind digest. You got the leverage, you got the upper handle on the situation. You worthy of a million more of the storms that we weather. We fight retreating, then fuck, but you trying to kill the cycle. When nobody's stressing that body like me, I know the way you like it. I treat you like a queen, run the castle.
We could do it all night. We could go all night. Love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead. We could go all night.
I've been calm, cool, collected, but you pushing on my nerves, and I'm knowing your intention, I'm under pressure. Okay, I'm admitting that a couple things I said got acidic in the tone, in the presence I get careless. Long as you know I come with imperfections. When you look at me, you see the soul through my flesh, you something special. Know you looking bomb, the way you dress it, gone, flex it, hold it still and let my mind digest. You got the leverage, you got the upper handle on the situation. You worthy of a million more of the storms that we weather. We fight retreating, then fuck, but you trying to kill the cycle. When nobody's stressing that body like me, I know the way you like it. I treat you like a queen, run the castle.
We could do it all night. We could go all night.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? I hope y'all had a Merry Christmas and hopefully you're going to have a Happy New Year. Okay. But I decided to have this live because I was watching Kim Kardashian little interview on hey Patricia Elodie, hey Chef. Hold on 1 minute. So I posted the little clip of Kim Kardashian crying on my upload. I uploaded it. So if you get a chance, go look at it. But I definitely think it was a good conversation about co-parenting because I'm not gonna lie, co-parenting was hard at time in my life when I was raising my children. And so I'm not saying I agree with everything Kim Kardashian do, but I did understand the pain of trying to co-parent with a man that you had kids with, you divorced, and now that you have to co-parent. And so I was just thinking, I wanted to tell you guys, hold on 1 minute. That co-parenting is difficult. It's a lot, and it's a lot that we have to it's a lot that we have to do, and sometimes we don't always agree, sometimes we don't always see eye to eye, and sometimes it is difficult in a way that you never thought when you got married to this person that you were going to divorce him, and then you have to co-parenting. Hey, JLC, I hope you had a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas. So I'm saying, I'm not saying that I agree with everything Kim Kardashian do, but I do understand the co-parenting, the pull, the tug, the pull, the tug, the argument, and you cannot agree. And so I wanted to talk about that because I have experienced divorce. I have experienced co-parenting, and it's no rule bit. There's no rule book on co-parenting. And when Kim Kardashian said this co-parenting is fucked up, oh my God, it was times I cried on my best friend's floor and said, I can't do this. It's times I wanted to hurt my ex-husband because this co-parenting, I feel like I was in a tug of war with somebody that I love, and now we divorced, and now we don't agree, and now we don't see eye to eye. And I will tell you this one experience. My daughter was having surgery, and she had a lump in her breast, And at the time she was living with her dad. At the time she was living with her dad, and me and him wasn't getting along. And keeping 100, I didn't like his new wife. She was the mistress he married. Okay, and so she had surgery. I did not know where the hospital where she was having surgery at. I had to call, and at the time I did not have a car. At the time I had to call the hospitals, and I found out where she was having surgery at, and I went to the hospital where she was having surgery at. He didn't tell me. He wasn't going to tell me. And so I'm just saying that shit is hard. And you know, it's hard. It's no rule book. Patricia Elliott said I had to try I I had tried co-parenting with my ex-husband. It was hard to get him to do anything. I gave up and I did it by myself. See? And I'm gonna be honest. Hold on 1 minute. I was at the point. I didn't care because I was like this. We had these kids together. I didn't give up on it, but I was like, we gonna make. I didn't give up on the. I didn't give up because the kids was living at him at the time. But that next year, my daughter moved back in the house with me, and at the end of the day, I tried the best I could with the co-parenting, but don't get me wrong, that shit was hard. Um, um, it was hard for me. It days I cried about it, but at the same time, is I was like, look, I had these kids. This is their father, and I'm gonna try to come to a do the best I can in the co-parenting, but that shit was hard. I am not gonna lie. Hey vegan girl, hey vegan, green vegan, how you doing? That shit was hard. It was the most challenging um thing in my life, and it was the most challenging thing because I had to co-parent with somebody who didn't see eye to eye with me. I had to co-parent with somebody who didn't see things that I seen. And so I can understand where Kim is coming from. And then she said she had a good dad. She had wonderful memories. And then she said that it was things the kids be hearing, and she play his music even though she doesn't like some of it. You know, we always think people who have money may have it easy. She might have easy in financial wise, but that co-parenting, that hey Dolly, how you doing? Happy holidays. That co-parenting with somebody is stressful. It takes a toll on you, and you're arguing and fighting. It's not easy for nobody. I don't care how much money you got. That shit is the most difficult part. And there's some days I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And, you know, I felt like it was the most difficult and challenging thing. And then I think about, would I want my kids to not have their dad, or would I fight and argue with him to be a dad? Okay, because he was paying child support, but it is a difference being present, being in the kid's life, spending time with the kids. Because yes, I had a father in the home, but he spent a lot of time working. But it's times I spend time with my father at his job after school. So it takes the good and the bad to be co-parenting. And I just say that Kim, it's not easy. It's not easy to co-parent with somebody who don't agree with the things you agree with. Your life changed, you change, they change, we change. And I'm just saying is um I don't really care for Kim like that, but I did understand where she was coming from. And when people was like, "Oh, co-parent is that co-parent is cool," that's a bitch. That co-parent is a bitch. Okay, and then I'm just saying it's difficult. I'm just saying, hey Yella, how you doing? Okay, well Yella got to say. I knew I was gonna spike him out of the bushes. I think it's money thing. I can sympathize and equalize pretty women. Many women contribute difficult as co-parenting. Mm, now, Yella, now most time me and you agree about things. Hey, Chef, how you
Yo,
doing?
what up? What up? Peace, love, and light. Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
But
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. You sound
Oh,
good.
so this the holidays, and you come in with this crying chick.
Well, she had an interview today, and everybody talking about bullshit, and I'm just thinking this is something that happened to me. This is something that happened to a lot of nuclear families with co-parenting, and all I'm saying is co-parenting is difficult. Is difficult. It is difficult, and people can sympathize and sympathize and say that happened to me. You know, and all I'm saying is Miss Patricia Ellen said that she was co-parenting with her ex-husband and she just finally gave up. Now I ain't gonna lie, I had a will to fight. I'm like, I don't care. This nigga had kids with me. We gonna rock this out if it killed either one of us. Okay, that's how I felt. Yes, I did cry a couple times, but I was like, we had kids together. We gonna rock this out until these kids turn 18, whether it kills both of us.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so I definitely understand and appreciate your forethought and how you feel about it. And you're speaking to some real inherent difficulties within co-parenting separately. Because when you're still married together, you guys are still co-parenting. It's a
Yeah.
unit. It's a
Yeah.
well choreographed dance if you guys do it right.
Yes.
Okay. The point is, though, that's why failure is something that you don't want. No one wants to take an L. Everyone wants the most optimal situation. So if you and he are functioning at a high level of resonance and you guys are in tune and in sync as parents in the household,
Mm-hmm.
then what's going to happen is you're going to have a better opportunity for those kids. You're going to have a unified front. They're not going to understand when mommy and daddy is arguing. It's going to be way different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they won't know when mommy and daddy disagree. They just know that mommy and daddy agreed on a particular thing and they're standing on it. That's
Mm-hmm.
the beauty. That's the beauty of that dance of marriage, you
Mm-hmm.
know, of living a lifelong partnership with someone, right? But here's
Yes.
the other side. Here's the other side. That's why when you guys are getting to a point where it's not working,
Mm-hmm.
you have to fight harder to make it work because you understand the loss, the decimation, the scorched earth, that divorce and co-parenting when you're not happy with each other, you know, what it can cause.
Yes.
So at some point, what we need to take a look at is what are the things that made them stay together? What are the things that made them not be together? And whose choice it was? That plays a big part.
Okay.
Whose choice it was. We could start from the whose choice it was, right? And why I say the whose choice it was. Watch this. I'm gonna throw a
Mm-hmm.
dynamic at you.
Okay.
If there's you dealing with Johnny, and you and Johnny have two kids, and Johnny ended up leaving you for Jenny down the block
Mm-hmm.
after that long relationship you had, and he left, and he knows he did you dirty.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that more than likely it's gonna be hard to expect any friendliness, love, or cooperation from you. So if you decided to be a great co-parent, he would look at it as a gift because he knows, damn, he deserved the worst of your temperament. You follow?
Yes.
So he would be happy with the co-parenting and appreciate it. But now, watch this.
Mm-hmm.
If you left him and you kicked him out and say you was tired of his shit or he wasn't doing anything, but you found somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he did not want to leave. Remember the first dynamic, he left you. He didn't want to leave, but you ended it, right?
Right.
Do you think now that you could even come with the same offer as you came as if he left you, but he may tell you F you because he's still having to deal with the emotional baggage from that separation. You follow?
Okay.
And we have to admit it's different when the man doesn't want to leave. Men have been known to stay in loveless marriages and non-sexualized marriages for a long period of time. Society has taught men that's what you're supposed to do. So imagine a man not wanting to lose his family. Of course it's going to be more difficult because he feels present. He didn't leave. He wants to be present. He did not leave. So it plays a major part. So that's why I was going to use the other dynamic first, but I said, let me jump to this one because she's crying like a victim when she participated within her own demise. That's my humble opinion.
Okay. Let's go there. So yes, you're right. You're right that she wanted out of the marriage, and she's crying like it's a victim, like she's a victim. But I don't feel like she's a victim. But I will say this: I if I had known, if I had known what I know now, I might have made my marriage work, okay? Because I did not know in the co-parenting how difficult that shit is. And I come from a two-parent home. So I did not understand what it is to have separate houses. And I always have, it was always mama and daddy in the house with me. So it became difficult for me to share, to negotiate. I had to become a negotiator. I had to share. I had to compromise. And at times I felt like I can be violent to the father of my children because I cannot get him to be on the same page as me. And that's the honest truth.
You may need to send that link. You may need to send that link to Kelly, being vegan. She says she don't follow.
I'm just saying, hey Jill, how you doing? I'm just saying it was times I felt like I was pushed to the break, that I'm ready to hurt somebody, and I couldn't get him to compromise and to see it my way and just compromise. And that shit was like, that shit broke me down. At times I was depressed. At times I was like, I couldn't go to work. At times I had to call out work because I had a migraine arguing with that nigga all day. And I'm the kind of person, if he did hang the phone up on me, I'm gonna call back until he heard my piece. That's the kind of woman I was. I'm gonna be honest. That's the kind of woman I was. You need to hear me out.
Yeah, that's the kind of woman you was. And even you take the woman that you was, and you take the woman that you are now.
Yes.
You're a foster mother.
Yes.
All right. Which means you take care of other people's born children.
Yes.
And part of what you naturally do in terms of the dynamic of your life is you co-parent because they still get to visit their parents.
Yes. Yes.
They still, you know what I mean? So what you're doing is you're co-parenting on a totally different extrapolated level, right? Mm-hmm. But by the same token, in terms of, so the essence of my argument, because obviously Andrea and I had a little bit of conversation on this because she was feeling for Kim. And what I basically was saying was, man, save your motherfucking tears. You don't even, I can feel what she feels, Chef. I said that she doesn't have a right to feel what you feel because You doing differently. She wrecked her marriage. Okay? They talk about the cheating as publicized and filmed as they are. They can always make statements. She doesn't deny it.
Mm-hmm.
They talked about this one, they talk about that one. They talk about Chris Paul, they talk about this one. They talk about that one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In the end, when we talk about the co-parenting, let's pay close attention and not just generalize it. Let's talk about the actual things that's being said, yo.
Okay.
He did not want his daughter on TikTok.
True. Yes.
Okay, watch this. He did not want his daughter on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
His daughter ain't your daughter. His daughter ain't my daughter. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
When his daughter was born, there was almost every camera, half of the cameras in the country was circling that hospital.
True.
Was in that area.
Mm-hmm.
They literally had to do all kinds of stuff to make sure people did not get a photo of the baby.
Right.
Where publications, tabloids were offering millions of dollars just for a couple of pictures. So
True.
He understands the impacts of the industry and entertainment industry on children. He understands the impact on him as an adult. He understands the machine. He understands the way it can devour. People talk about it, and he doesn't want his kids as a part of that.
Yes.
Now, is that something that is unreasonable to want as a father?
No, it's not.
Whether you was the mother or not.
Yes, it's not unreasonable to want as a father.
Okay? A lot of times when a man and a woman separate, sometimes the greatest blessing that man, even if he doesn't like the woman, the greatest blessing he can have is knowing that his ex got a good mom. So knowing that my baby got a great grandma that's gonna look after her and keep her safe in case my ex messes up, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, the grandmom to his children made the mom do sex tapes. So how safe do I feel as a father now? It's been verified and documented that the grandmother, the matriarch of said family that my child is now a part of, that matriarch had her daughter, orchestrated her daughter to do I'm going to say it the wrong way, pornography. You understand?
Yes. So, yes.
Monetizing the sexualization of her own child. So now, do I feel safe in terms of that co-parenting, understanding who she is, what she does, and now I'm not there to have a hand in it? Come on, man. I believe that she's participated within her own demise. And your tears are better suited other places, you know.
I mean, would I if I was Kanye and I was the father of them children? Yes, but this is one thing where I feels like he as a dad can put that shit in writing, and Kim cannot. I personally would have went to the courthouse and had my daughter couldn't be on TikTok until she at least 15 years old. And he put down all his concerns of why he didn't want his daughter to be on TikTok, because you could that's in the mediation. I will tell you this: my ex-husband, his new wife, she smokes. I said in the mediation, I was like, I don't want her smoking around my children, and that was told in the courts that that's what I wanted, and she didn't smoke around my children. So I'm saying is something simple as that. If he don't want the child, his child being on TikTok, you got plenty of money. Take her to court and put it in writing. And this is what I want. Period. I'm the father. I'm just saying. He got power too. It's just not Kim. Them kids are half his. They ain't all hers. My son's grandmama is trash. Yellow said his son's grandmother is trash.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't
So
let your son be around his grandmother, Yellow? I'm just asking the question to you. You can hit that link if you want to. You don't let your son be around his grandmother because you think
wait
she's
a-
trash?
hold on. Green Vegan said he knew who she was. Why y'all acting brand new? Then he should have not peed in her. You remember all of those facts, especially the facts that we talking about, were not exposed earlier on. There was a lot of information that came out. There was a ton of information that came out after the fact, but he was already with her. But in terms of that other question where you said that the conversation is not about Cray Cray Kanye, but it actually absolutely is, because Kim Kardashian is talking about her co-parenting with quote unquote Cray Cray Kanye. She wasn't married to Trump, right? She was co-parenting with Kanye, so he absolutely is the part. He's absolutely a major part within this. So we couldn't not speak about him because that's who she's speaking about, right? But now, in terms of that particular argument, where it's like, you know what it was, does it make it right? And if we know what it was, then why are we paying attention to her tears? Why are we coddling her for those tears, talking about co-parenting with one of the most pivotal people in entertainment within the last 20 years? That's what she signed up for. That's what she signed up for.
But
This beast of entertainment, this beast of entertainment has shredded her and her family up in more physical and emotional ways than even Kanye. He ain't have to do no sex tape to blow up. His mother did not talk him into laying with someone for money in order to blow up the family. So we do have to take all of that stuff into consideration when we think about it. That's who we're looking at crying.
Yellow said,
go ahead.
Yellow said she's a reason that he's not around me. Oh, okay. Agreed. Vegan said she wants the link. She wants to talk to you, Chef.
Hey, drop it. Drop it.
Can you drop it? Can you drop it for me, Chef, please?
Yeah, I got you. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead. Do your thing, though.
Okay, so the thing is, Yellow, I understand. Yellow, man, I'm sorry that you're going through this. Do I think co-parenting is difficult? Yes, I do. And I'm not gonna say that was I perfect. I was doing some shit. I was cussing his ass out pretty much every other Monday after he dropped the kids off at school. I waited till the kid went to school before I start cussing. I was like, if the kids go to school, yeah. He was like, yeah, after the kids at school. And I was damn cussing his ass out that Monday. Oh, Derek put the link in the chat. Vegan, Green Vegan, this link is in the chat because my friend Derek C. Williams put that link in the chat. So was I contributing to the bad co-parenting? Yes, I was. But it was times that we could not agree. It was times that we could not be on the same page. It was times that I didn't know how to keep my mouth shut and just let shit go. Okay.
Tell them about that.
It was time.
You should tell them about that.
Okay, so it was times that my son came. My son, it was that Tuesday. I see my kids on Monday after school because of dad dropped them off. So my son's like, excuse me. My son said, "Mom, Tiffany spanked me." I said, "She did what?" He was like, "She spanked me." Oh, I hit the motherfucking roof. Okay. I called Ronnie. I said, didn't I tell you that she is not allowed to spank our children, only you? And I said, I'm confused because I'm ready to drive to Lodi. Lodi is only 30 minutes away. I'll get him. I will show up at your job. You know how crazy my ass is. I will show up your job and show out, okay, for her. And she worked at the same job with him too. I said, I'm gonna show out because now I'm mad. Well, how dare she put her hands on my child? But I didn't see but nothing but red, okay? And so after I calmed down, he told me that my son, they went skiing, and my son went to the top of the skiing thing, and he didn't supposed to, and that's why he got a spanking, because he could have hurt himself. And I'm like, okay, but she still could have never put her hands on my child. And then my kids, they knew that me and their dad went on the same page, so they was gaslighting me too. So they would come home. They would come home every other weekend and say, "This happened at Daddy's house, Mama." And I hit the roof. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. Every other Monday, I was on the phone cussing his ass out, and he was like, "Andrea, the kids are playing you. The kids are playing you. They know you don't like her. They know you mad, and they know that it bothers you. The kids are playing you." And then I turn around and say, "Look here. Don't tell me shit what happened at your daddy house. Because y'all know how I get down, and y'all know I'm an act a fool. Stop playing with me." And then I stopped listening to them. Yes, I was crazy. I was crazy. Because I was like, this bitch ain't touched my child. And so the kids was gaslighting me. I was listening to them. And my ex-husband said, the kids are playing you. They're playing you against me. And so that was happening a lot. And I had to recognize that my own kids was playing me against their father. And they was laughing when I was going the fuck off. And I was like, I'm not playing your game. I'm not playing the kids' game or your daddy game no more. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And so I'm just saying it was a lot. And when the kids know that you and the daddy ain't on the same page, they can gaslight you too. Just saying. Okay. Go ahead, Chef.
No, I agree. I agree. The kids always have a part to play in it. Mm-hmm. Why? Because the kids, they model behavior.
Yes.
They model our behavior. Mm-hmm. So what they do is they look to see what works on you. They look and see what works on dad. They look and see what you do that puts your pops in a crazy place, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. And what they'll do is, if they want you to go with that or take their side, what they'll do is they'll preempt it, whatever they're saying, with something that you might know he does that he has an issue with, or you get what I'm saying, or vice versa. When they're talking to him, they're gonna mention some shit that you do that pisses him off. Yes, kids do that. Yes, it's natural. It's scientific.
Yes, so, and I did not know. I was like, you lying. These kids would not play me against you. He was like, Andrea, calm down. Think, why would I do this? Why would the kids come and tell you? Because they know you don't like her. They know you mad about this situation. They know.
Look at this. Look at this shit. These new kids, they ain't dumb. They know how to make money faster than us. This crypto shit and everything else, they actually are able to become millionaires faster than our generation. They not stupid. They understand better than us the emotional costs versus the reality costs. These little ninjas ain't stupid. Yes. Some of them believe they could rock. Listen, they could rock with divorce. Yes. Shit, 2 Christmases, 2 birthdays, and these 2 motherfuckers competing over my childly love. Let's get it. Yeah. You understand?
I said my own kids that I birthed would not do that to me. He was like, yes, they doing it. They're doing it, Andrea. He don't call me Andrea. He called me Andrea. He was like, they are playing you against me. They coming home because they know you don't like it. They know you don't like her. So any word that she said to them, they coming home saying, Tiffany did this to me. And I'm ready to like, what? Let's on and pop it. I'm coming to your job. I'm an act of fool. And that's how I was. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, I'm driving to Lodi. I'm on my way. And he was like, Andrea, if you come down here and act a fool on my job, I'm gonna have to call the police on you. Well, call the police on me. I got my bail money ready. And that's how bad I was. And then I had to realize and took a day off from work, mental health in my own job, that my kids was really playing me against their father. And that really hurted me because I was like, why? And I asked them, why would y'all do that to me? Y'all know this. And I asked him,
And
and they
I'm
couldn't give
speaking
me
for
an
Yella.
answer.
I gotta
Which,
speak for Yella. I gotta
okay,
speak for Yella.
okay,
All right. He just said something which is pivotal.
okay.
He stated, Yellow Pill Coffee Company stated, the only way the kids can play mommy is she is letting them in on inside information.
Right. Yellow. I
Short
did.
version is you saying too much around their asses. What do you
Yes.
think about that?
Yes, I did. I would. Yes, I did. I would be on the phone with my girlfriend in the car driving from work. I was like, this motherfucker get on my fucking nerves. He always doing some shit with them damn kids, and I don't like his new wife any damn way. So yes, the key. I would be in the car on the phone in the car. Yes, Yellow is right. Yes, I can admit that. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, let's talk about the tears, yo. We got to
Mm-hmm.
talk about, because she was crying.
Yes.
And, all right, y'all could call me the asshole. I made the thumbnail. With a bunch of crying Kims, right? She's
Yes.
crying. We've seen her tears if anybody's ever seen the show. Those tears tell me that she lacks full universal awareness of herself, of the ecosystem she exists in, and she totally doesn't understand that she's winning when universally society says that what she's doing is not supposed to allow her to win.
Mm-hmm.
The path she's taken. But this particular path has had a cultural effect on us where it's flipped us into a bizarro world where now you do dumb shit on the internet to go viral. You pull pranks on people that could potentially get you killed to go viral. You lay on camera with someone in a sexual way to earn money, which can make you go viral. And they were successful with it. And every man that's come through their system, let's call it their periphery of love, has benefited. But afterwards, they fell.
Mm.
Afterwards, they fell.
Well, look
So
what
do I feel bad for Kim?
Mm-hmm.
The only bad I feel is that, damn, yo, you so messed up in the mind that you don't even realize that you actually winning when you ain't supposed to.
Okay,
What
but
are you crying about?
this is what Derek says. Derek said Kanye was not smart to marry and get her pregnant. Literally as hell as his own make it. No sympathy for him as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so look, this is what I say. And I'm not, when I say this, please don't take no offense when I say this. And you too, Chef. If you
You talking about my mama?
no. If you decide to marry a woman, okay, that's my the whole thing. If you decide to marry a woman, have children with her, and then one day y'all get a divorce, you get a divorce, you're halfway. Either you're gonna split. What do you call it? What's the word? What's the word? What do you say?
Take your time. Come on.
You split. What's the word? Like you come to agreement, or you come to
Okay.
you
Compromise.
come to compromise. You come
Yep.
to compromise,
Okay.
or you say, look, and this is my own thinking. When I was getting a divorce, I got to win over this nigga right here. I don't care how much I got to be the winner coming out this courtroom. I felt like he was my enemy. And yes, even though he was the father of my children, I looked at him on that other side as my enemy, and I got to win over him. It didn't matter when it came to child support, alimony, I got to win. He was my enemy, and I wanted to win over him. And when it was all said and done, and I got my mind right after I got what I wanted, then I decided to negotiate and be a little sympathy. But I went in there and said the saying about Malcolm X said, by any means necessary. I thought he was my enemy, and I wanted to beat him down. that's how I feel going in that courtroom getting a divorce. I know it's not right, but this is the way I felt, and this is the way I had to look at it, because I wanted to beat him down. He was my enemy, and I wanted to win.
So this is the current Andrea telling us about the previous Andrea in that situation. But remember, that was the previous Andrea. You know what happened to her? The real grown-up Andrea killed that bitch. You killed her, all right?
Yeah.
Because one of the beautiful things is that you speak to how you've grown.
Yeah.
And you speak to the way that you see things.
Hey,
you know
Green,
what I'm saying? There's conversations. Who's that?
That's Green Vegan.
Hey, what up, Kelly? What up, Green Vegan? You know, you spoke to the beauty of the change that you made. We done had a couple conversations over the couple of past days where I got choked up. You know what I mean? Because you were talking about what was going on, grandson, you know, his siblings, all the different things. And we spoke to how we able to have grown understanding this co-parenting thing.
Yes.
And we understand as co-parents that we have to understand the bullshit that we have within us, because that's going to be the number one thing that we can control in order to make this work. Because the sacrifice doesn't stop at divorce. The sacrifice continues. The sacrifice becomes even more, because you have to sacrifice your own personal feelings now in order to work with somebody who lives across town that may have a new dude while you got a new wife, and you still got those two children to handle.
Yes.
So we understand that inherent burden when we decide to leave and abscond from that covenant that we made before God. This is the stuff that comes with it, you know. But I'm gonna let y'all sisters cook.
What's up, Kelly? What you got to say, girl?
Oh my God.
You thirst trapping the hell out of us right there with that avatar. I see you, yo.
Okay, looking beautiful.
No, I had to give my Gemini energy right now, because y'all got me kind of messed up.
We do.
Y'all got me messed up. I had to come with the Gemini energy. Okay, so but I don't want Chef to jump down, because I got questions for Chef.
Okay,
so
well,
first of all,
he ain't never scared, man. He ain't never scared. Okay, I'm just like...
Well, first of all, when I first seen when you posted that, when you made that post about Kim crying and stuff, I wasn't. For me, the first thing that came to mind is, why are you crying? Like, you knew how he was before you even got with him, and you got with him because of the money. Let's just keep it a buck, right? And then, you have all these babies by him, he, whatever. And then he leaves. I mean, she wants to go, whatever. But the thing about it is, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Why would you leave somebody? It had to be hard. I mean, I'm not capping for Kim, because I really don't have a dog in a fight. But all I'm just saying is, men are very insensitive about relationships. And if a woman, let me tell you, it has to be bad, because we put up with a lot of crap. I mean, a lot of crap. Men are easier, and I'm saying this, 10 toes down. They're easy to leave. They're quick to go. And they don't care how many kids they got. They don't care how many households they have. So for a woman to leave out of a relationship, to me, I felt like it had to be bad. Like, something had to have happened for her to go, because it was like he was making money. You know what I'm saying? And that's what she wants. She wants money, and she wanted to be taken care of. So like I said, I don't know what's going on in their life, whatever. When I spoke to Andrea too. And when I talked to her, she explained it to me. It wasn't really about Kim and Kanye. It was about the situation, about co-parenting. And then that's when I was like, okay. Because like I said, I cannot relate with Kim and Kanye, but I can relate personally with co-parenting. I mean, as far as like as a child of parents who did not, weren't together. And my mother left my dad okay, which is kind of rare for a woman to leave. But the things that my father did,
90% of women leave.
90%. Let me tell you something, Chef. Growing up, none of my friends had fathers. None of them. Like you had a whole school of kids and none of them had fathers. That speaks value. You know what I'm saying? So, and
We
even
Yeah.
well, I know we're going off subject, but I think for me it's more like really focusing on the topic at hand, which is co-parenting, and why isn't it working? Like I know Yella said, you know, his grandmother, that his child's grandmother is keeping him away, and like, you know, hey, like, you know, Yella is cool with me, but I don't know what Yella does behind. Like, why would someone keep you from your father? I know why. And like I said, my mother never kept me from my father. My father chose not to be around. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, in what Andrea said earlier about, hey, if Kanye felt XYZ about his kids, go to court, get that in writing, you know, go that route. Let me tell you something. I don't have children. But if I did have children, not hell or high water would keep me from my child. I feel like there's no excuse or reason for someone not to see their kids. It's, for me, I feel like, you know, yeah. And I made it in the comments. I said, you know, Andrea, your situation is not normal. Men do not want to be in a child's life after this. It's this rare. I'm sorry, it's rare.
Now I got to disagree with you. I have to disagree with you because the statistics prove what you're stating is incorrect. Normally, it states that 80 to 90% of the women leave the relationship. And in terms of the men that want to be in the child's lives, a higher percentage of men actually are in the child's lives. It's 60 to 70%.
But you know what? You got to look at the statistics. So then, when you're speaking from your own anecdotal, your anecdotal experiences, because no. I'm telling you, Chef. What you need to tell me what statistics, because if you're speaking of married women, the thing about it is, you might say, okay, more married women leave married men, but those statistics do not count with men who just have babies by multiple women and just go from house to house to house. There's no statistics for that, because there is no way you can even keep up with that statistic. So you need to let me know, because I will do my research. Where did you find that more women leave men in a situation? Because let me tell you, it got to be hard for a woman to leave. Because I'm telling you, and this is a whole nother topic.
Kelly, I left my ex-husband. I told him to move out.
But I'm saying,
wait,
why? Like, it has to be.
It's important, Kelly, because remember, she stated that she left, right?
Right.
And there's another piece to this. The young lady you were mentioning, you said that you didn't know much about her life and all of that. She left all of the men that she was with. She's been married. This is what, her third marriage?
Yes.
Okay. She's been married.
Who are you
multiple.
Talking about?
Kim Kardashian.
The person on the thumbnail.
Oh, Kim Kardashian.
She's been married 3 times.
Okay, so
and she left each of.
She's not, but she don't represent me. She don't represent Black women. And she represents a whole other kind of situation.
Okay, my bad. I know we talking about Black women now. I didn't realize.
You're comparing apples to razor blades. There's no comparison. You're talking about someone who has resources, someone who has money, someone who goes within a certain elite circle. And then you made the comment about, Kanye didn't know. Everybody knew about Kim. It was slept with Ray J. Like, he knew that before and then Kanye knew she was married. Kanye knew all the stuff that she would, and he still wanted his preference, and he got his preference, and now he got to suck up and live with whatever the consequences is of being with somebody like that. I don't have any sympathy for either of them, but you cannot compare those two people to real life. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think, Kelly, are you saying that most black men leave their children? Just asking the question to you. That's what you feel?
Yes.
Why? So this is the question that I have. This really blows my mind, right? This literally is blowing my mind. How the goalposts move in a way that is just so freaking fluid, because we literally got Kim Kardashian and about her talking about co-parenting, right? And now we're talking about black men leaving, right? And this black man that she was married to did not leave. So why is it that when we have
the
this,
majority
why is it
don't
that when
leave
we
because
have, well, hold on.
they're
Why
never
is it,
there.
wait, why is it then when we have this conversation and somehow a black man is involved, does it always have to slide over to the other side of the spectrum of the most negative, repulsive, disgusting stuff? Why does it always have to move all the way over there? Because Kanye West is not a man that left. He didn't want to leave. He wanted to stay with his family. He loved this woman from before he met her. He talked about that's going to be the wife and the mother of my child before he met her. So what I'm stating to you is, watch this. Do you realize that he would still be with her? He loves her that much. So what are we talking about? Why are we talking about all the men that leave when this situation is not related to a man that left?
But we have autonomy and we have to protect our children. It's different when you're with a man. I mean, it's different. Like if you're a woman and you're with a man and he's doing some really, cheating on you or beating you or being abusive or not providing for you, it's easy to walk out. But it's harder when children are involved, especially if you're married. Like, Andrea, I don't know your situation, but I'm pretty sure you didn't just wake up in the morning and say, oh, I'm out, deuces. No, it had to be stuff happening. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get into your business, but I'm just saying it's hard for a woman, and we put up with a lot of stuff.
Andrea done said it on the show. She said it on My Fatherhood 6. Tell her, Andrea.
I was unhappy. My husband paid all the bills. I did not work. I woke up one morning and said, look, I don't like you or the children. And that's the day he moved out. And I didn't realize that until I went to therapy, because I thought he just left me. And he was like, no, I didn't. You told me to go.
I thought you said he had a mistress.
He didn't have a mistress.
So on the Fatherhood, she broke down on several of the Fatherhood Sunday sips on my channel, right? She broke down the whole story, right? Literally. So I'm going to try and Andrea, you tell me if I'm incorrect. Andrea was in a point of, let's call it relationship depression.
Yes.
Some people get the 7-year itch. Some people get the 5. Okay. And at some point, she got into a certain state where she wasn't feeling him. She wasn't liking him. And she said she was being mean to the dude. And at one point, she told him, I don't want to be with you anymore. You need to go.
Yep.
I don't need to be with you anymore. You need to go. And told him that. Okay. And then at some point, he acquiesced. At some point, he acquiesced and did exactly what she said, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only thing was, after the fact, after he did what she said, the woman he happened to meet by circumstance happened to work with people she knew. I'll let you give that.
Yes.
Okay. And then when she found out,
I don't want to put her, I mean, this is not the show.
You ain't putting no business, Kelly. I am not putting no business. I already said it. It's there's no secret. I'm not hiding from it. It's what it was. I sent him away. I wanted out. I was young. I had kids young. Remember, my parents were religious, so that I couldn't have a boyfriend until I got married. So I had to do all of that because that's what my parents wanted me to do. And I saved myself until I got married, all of that. But I realized I don't like him or the damn kids. I was like, what's going on around here? I don't know myself no more. And I told him to move out. But I didn't recognize and didn't realize that until I went to therapy, because I blocked it out. I was acting a fool on him because I just thought he just left me with these damn kids. And I didn't recognize that until I was talking to my therapist, and this is what happened. And he kept saying, Drea, this is not the way it happened. You're saying it wrong. But I was like, no, nigga, you left me with these kids.
Okay, so are you okay? Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like you're the norm of why women leave? Do you think your circumstances is that of every single woman who ever left a relationship?
No, I'm not
Or do
thinking
you
I'm a
think it's individual to you
I think it's individual to me, but this
Right.
is
And
where
that's my point. That's
but
my
this is where
point. And what
but
I was
Kelly,
trying to
hold on,
tell Chef,
but Kelly, hold on.
every situation is different.
Yes, but this is where I think you missed the disconnect where I didn't know myself. My ex-husband had experienced life. He was three years older than me. I moved out of my parents' house to his house. I didn't know who Andrea was. I was unhappy. I didn't feel like I had a voice. But as I realized, and even right now, my ex-husband is getting divorced, okay? And we had a conversation, and you know what he said? And I told him this is 2 weeks ago. I said I didn't have a voice in the marriage. He was like, "Girl, stop lying. Yes, you did." I was like, "No, I didn't. You made every decision." He was like, "Andrea, stop lying. I did not make every decision. We made it together." But these are things that I didn't remember, and these are things in my own mind that saying I thought I didn't have a voice. But after I got divorced, and I acted a fool on him, and I done some things to him that pushed him so far that we barely got a good relationship now. But I was rude, I was nasty, and I was angry. I was acting like an angry black woman on him, and couldn't figure out why we couldn't have a better relationship because I blamed him. But I blamed him because I wanted out of the marriage, and I blamed him because he left. And I heard
Okay.
him, and I said some nasty. Let me tell you, Kelly. When I'm telling you, I said some nasty things to that man. And then you think, look, I know I grew up with this man. Me and his family is connected. We grew up in the church together. I said some nastiest things to him, Kelly, that he could have took his own life. I was nasty to him. And when it came to his kids, I knew how much he loved his kids. And I used that as a weapon against him too, Kelly.
I hope you got help and I hope you healed.
Yes, I am. I'm here. I went to therapy for 3.5 years. I'm not angry no more. We can have a conversation. We can laugh about it. We can kiki about it. But it took years. It took years to get to that point. And all he was trying to do was trying to be a good father. And I was like, "You my enemy, and I'm gonna look at you as my enemy." So what I'm saying is, I do think in the black community, and it's the community that we live in, I think we're a contributing factor too. Because it don't take just the one man to have a baby. It takes two to tangle. So if you don't want to be a single mama, maybe you know this nigga ain't no good. Why you with him then? We gotta take accountability and responsibility too. I'm just
You're
saying.
right. You're right, but like you said, it takes two to tango. It takes responsibility of both people. And Chef, I am not the person who feel that it's like all or go all the way down and talk about them because I do know men. It's 10% of y'all out there that actually, have healthy relationships. But it's what I'm trying to say is so rare. And when it comes to co-parenting, I don't see it's rare that I see a lot of men co-parenting. That's all I'm saying. Like you figure like, okay, you have these situations where you have women who, just walk out. Like I don't see that happening. And if a woman is walking out of a relationship, it's because of physical abuse, mental abuse. It's because of violence. Like it's extreme. The situation with Andrea is like, okay, she needed to heal herself. She needed to get herself right. You know what I'm saying? But what happened to Andrea is not the norm, and it doesn't happen to a lot of women. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm glad she did. I'm glad that happened because at the end of the day, like she's better and she's happier, and it wasn't fair what she put her you know, her husband through, you know, that situation. And it had to do with her. And I feel like a lot of us, especially in the Black community, we're suffering through trauma, you know, and we need to heal ourselves before we get into a relationship. But we kind of grow up to like, oh, you grow up, you meet somebody, you get married, you have babies, and it's there is a disconnect. There's a disconnect where
this is where I feel like I love my parents. Don't get me wrong, I love them to the day I die. But this is where I feel like my parents was not transparent with me. Life, children, family, you're gonna have marriage, you're gonna have ups and downs. Sometimes you're gonna like each other, sometimes you can't stand each other, sometimes you're not having enough sex, sometimes you ain't liking each other. My parents didn't tell me that. They was like, marriage is beautiful, having children and having multiple children. They didn't say none of that shit. But you know who I'm talking to? My grown kids. I keep it 100 with them now. I don't say, oh, marriage is all. No, marriage is ups and downs. Marriage is trials and tribulations. Marriage is peaks and valleys. Marriage is you ain't gonna like each other, but you stick it.
Right.
You stick it.
Right.
I talk to my kids about that. The lessons that I have, I talk to my kids, and I talk to my kids about co-parenting. I specifically talk to my son about co-parenting because I tell him this: I don't want a Black woman to do what I done to his father. And I'm very cautious. The women my son dates, I'm looking them in an eye. What you want with him? Well, how you love him? Do you care about him? Because if I glimpse of somebody treating my son the way I treated his father, is on and cracking.
Hey, just to kind of make sure that we keep a little boundary, you know, peripheries. So this is about co-parenting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the person on there that's actually on the thumbnail is a white Armenian European American.
Yes.
So when we talk about co-parenting and the issues that exist within co-parenting, it exists even in divorce. It exists across every single ethnic group that exists.
Yes.
We hear about baby mama drama in our culture.
Mm-hmm.
But then in other cultures or other ethnicities, you hear about the woman driving a car into the lake to spite the man with the children in it.
Yes.
You follow?
Mm-hmm.
Right? We understand in certain Asian cultures, children thrown off a mountain. We understand all of these different things. So I don't want, and I understand I love my people. I love our people and I want us to grow. But I want this conversation to be more global. I think that, and this is Andrea's channel, obviously, but I think that the conversation needs to be a bit more global and not just subjugated to our traumas as one specific ethnic race, because co-parenting is something that is important across every ethnicity.
Yes, and it's difficult. It is difficult. It don't matter what race you are. It don't matter what class you are. It don't matter how much money you got. When you still got to co-parent with this person about insurance, medical, if they get surgery, that and what if you don't like what if you don't like your daughter's hair? Because we had a problem with my daughter is Black, her stepmama is white, and they would take her swimming all the time. And I would get motherfucking mad because I spend this money getting her hair done, and then she come back like, who shot John? I'm saying.
That's it. You said who shot John?
Yeah. Her hair would be all over her head. Okay, after I got it pressed out and cute and braided up and everything, I was like, what the hell? And so I'm saying it's a lot of issues that co-parenting comes involved, and then I had to stop screaming and say, look, check this out. If you're gonna take her swimming, just pay me back for the money that I'm gonna get her hair done. I can't change that you're gonna take her swimming, but what I can do is change my approach. And my approach is, can you give me the money to get her hair redone?
Let me ask you a question. Did you have a mediator? Did you have someone to like mediate like your parenting?
Kelly, when I went to mediation, they was like 4 and 5. This came up when she was like 8, 7 years old. So that's when I started seeing my therapist, and my therapist gave me the tools to help in the communication. And then my approach was, I'm about to cuss this nigga out. And my therapist said, "Oh no, that's what we ain't gonna do." She said, "The approach is, I know you're gonna take her swimming. Can you give me some money to pay to get her hair redone?" Because Andrea's first reaction is, "Let me get on this damn phone and it's on and cracking." No, my therapist said, "Oh no, we can't do that anymore."
That's why the Lord did not want me to meet the old Andrea. I meet the new Andrea. Everything is good. It's like meeting the Jeffrey Dahmer that don't eat people anymore.
And
You know what I mean?
And I use that in my own life. If my friend make me mad, before I say something rude, disrespectful, I'll say, "Girl, I gotta go. I'm gonna holler at you later because I'm getting mad and I need to decompress and talk to you later," before I say something that I have to apologize for. And I use the same tools that she gave me in therapy to help me with my ex-husband. Because I went to therapy because I told her this: I need a better relationship with this man. We got kids. We're going to be grandparents one day. I need a better relationship. Can you help me? And this was a sister that I sat on her couch for 3 years every Wednesday. So I'm saying is, sometimes we need the tools. We need somebody else to help us. I didn't have the tools. I didn't have the communication tool, because my first reaction was, I'm about to cuss him out. I don't care how he feel today. I'm mad.
So let's talk. Let's talk. There's a good piece now.
Mm-hmm.
Piece of Victor Free's music. There was one thing that he always talked about was action steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Action steps.
Mm-hmm.
So now I want you, Andrea, one, and then Kelly, being vegan, if you can. I want you, Andrea, first to be that best friend of Kim Kardashian. I want you to be that best friend of Kim Kardashian right now. After you've seen what you've seen from the video and with everything that you know and feel, what would your feedback or your coaching to her or that sister girl conversation look like? What is the message you would give to her, that action step that she would need to do? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
If I was Kim Kardashian best friend, I would tell her, "Sister, stop gaslighting him. Okay, you are doing things. Let me tell you something. I would gaslight my ex-husband. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Sure was. I would act a damn fool because I couldn't. But stop gaslighting him. You are doing things that you know he don't like. You are doing things that he gonna spaz out, and you know he will. So let's at the end of the day, at the best interest, you got 4 kids with him. You gonna see these kids graduate, go to college, blah blah blah, have kids. So let's stop gaslighting him. Let's get a therapist to have co-parenting with you two. Let's write some shit down. Let's compromise. If he don't want North on TikTok until she's 15 years old, why you can't do this? He ain't asking for too much. Because at the end of the day, do you want your kid's dad to be the hero of your family, or do you want you? Because at the end of the day, my kids right now know that their daddy can walk on water. He was always the hero of the family. Good, bad, or indifference. Period.
Shit, I already told you he moved to Georgia. He already moved to Georgia. I was like, yo, I owe that dude a steak and a couple beers, yo. Everything that I know about what he went through, that's a good dude, yo. And then dealing with your ass, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I do. If y'all understand the stories, he's that's a good brother, man. That's a good brother.
So stop gaslighting him. Write some stuff down. Compromise. See a therapist that y'all both go talk to help y'all communicate better. Because obviously y'all communication is not good. And just write some things down that only pertains to the children, not you two. the children. This what you want for the children. And if we have to go to court, we'll put it in fucking writing. That's what I would tell Kim Kardashian. Because at the end of the day, that is still the father of your children. Period. Good, bad, or indifference. When he's healthy, when he's spiritually healthy, he's a better father. When you gaslighting him and got him spazzing out, don't look good for you either.
Ooh, you cooking, man. It's an honor to be on your channel tonight, girl.
So that's what I would tell Kim Kardashian. And if I was Kanye, I would tell him the same thing. Get a mediation, get a therapist so y'all can communicate better. And if you want things that you don't want your kids on, put it in writing. And that, my brother, you got money and opportunity and power. Use it. Because not all black men have that. I'm just saying.
Kelly, what you got? That green, I'm sorry.
The fifth.
You plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
After all of this,
Y'all gonna block me if I tell you what I really
listen. After all of that, Andrea just said Andrea did everything but told you where the bodies was buried. You got to come with something, yo.
This is the thing. I mean, I'm listening to you, Chef. The thing about it is I really respect you, Chef, and I really respect Andrea. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I love you guys like family, and that's no cap, right? I mean,
yeah.
And the thing about it is, and it's okay to agree. I mean, to disagree. You know, you agree to disagree and stuff. But on this particular point where I've had family members, you know, like I said, stuff comes from your own personal experiences. That's where we draw from. You know what I'm saying? Facts are facts and statistics. It doesn't mean anything for real. I mean, you go by what's happening in your environment. You know what I'm saying? And I know that, like, I work for the court. You know what I'm saying? I've worked in child support. I've worked on jewelry. I've been part of I've seen some really sick demonic stuff. I was a educator for 25 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen families, like I've worked for the foster care system and respite care system. I mean, I see this side that most people don't see. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen some really sick, disgusting things that's happened to women. So of course I'm going to advocate more towards them than, than the fathers. But I don't see that. Like, for Kim, if she were to come into my office and I were to have a conversation with her, I would say this: look, now, if he hasn't physically abused her, physically abused her, maybe mentally, that stuff, I don't know the reason why they're apart. It is what it is. But for the children, yes, let them. She has to think of something, because she has to let them have access. The times that I've seen Kanye with their kids, he looks like a good dad. They're not screaming and crying. You know what I'm saying? They're happy to be with him. And I feel like you can co-parent and it can work. I mean, if he has an issue, like, I think Andrea, what she said was right. Like, if you have an issue with your child, then go to court. Like, they got money, they got resources. Go to court and say, hey, I want this not to happen because of XYZ, blah, 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 whatever. I mean, you can. But as far as, Kanye, he showed his ass. Like, he does sometimes he does some really demonic and horrible things, and it's not like he's sitting up here crying every other day he's with a woman. So I think he's okay. I think a lot of it has to do with control, and he can't control Kim. And I hope and pray to God that he's not using the kids as a weapon against her, because I mean, that happens sometimes with women and with men. They use their kids,
Yes,
as leverage.
We should talk about that because let me say, it don't matter what race you are. Women are using the children against men. Okay,
Across all races.
across all races, I have seen it. And let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you this. That because I'm a single parent, I know some good motherfucking brothers who are down with their children, who are with their wives, who love their children. The community that I deal with, they are in their kids' life, right there on the sports field, right there with the kids. The mothers bringing their they down with the kids. So I don't know men who ain't being there for their kids. That's something new for me. I know men who were sticking around being married to their wives about 20, 21 years. So when I say, but I have heard in my new people that I meet in my life, when I hear them they're a single mom, when I hear the I'm in the barbershop with my fellas, because I have friends who own barbershop and we sit around and have conversations about this. And I'm the only girl in the group. And they tell me what be going on in the streets. How sometimes the baby mamas is arguing with her. Sometimes the baby mama's like, you ain't come to get your kid because you ain't paid your child support. You ain't come to get your kids because you ain't bought him a new pair of shoes. You ain't come to get your kids sound like a new girlfriend. Women can be detrimental to their own self too. And use the kids as a pawn. I'm just saying. So I'm just saying it's accountability on all of the circle. I'm saying
I agree.
I'm saying co-parenting, that's a bitch. When she said it, yeah. But she looking at it in the eyes of how her mother and her father co-parent. It's a new generation, baby. This ain't your mama and your daddy. So you're gonna have to adapt. And
you ain't your mama.
Right.
You ain't your mama, because remember, you have the mama that could literally, when some mamas is out there trying to teach the kids how to get it right.
Yeah.
And you have a mama that is telling you to lay with this man in front of a camera with other people in there.
Yeah.
And make multiple videos.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is documented. It's a fact.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is the mama that you grew up with. So we fully understand the trauma that she's experienced.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but you guys keep going back and forth to Kim Kardashian and then Andrea's life and then other things like you
that's
can't
what it
keep
is, though.
comparing
But it's not comparing the two. The point is she's crying. But is he the one that caused all of the trauma that created those tears? Is my true question. Because we're saying, remember, the thumbnail is Andrea and a whole bunch of pictures of crying Kim Kardashian. What she did as a precursor was put up the clip of Kim crying about the issue that she's having co-parenting. So in terms of the specificity of the conversation, that is the crux of what we're talking about. You know it's
what?
not about within the Black community, because at the end of the day, her trauma is based on her trauma. He has a different type of trauma.
I understand it. I think for me personally, in listening to the video, when she started crying, I think those tears came from her personal experience with her father. You know what I'm saying? But if she wanted that experience, she should have married somebody like her father, not Kanye West. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like the responsibility just got it. I mean, no, it's not one person's fault. There's like a whole thing. Like Kanye knew what she was before he got with her. She knew who he was before they got together. It was straight. I think
what would you tell her? What will you tell her as her BFF?
Kelly? It's your friend. That's your friend, Kelly. Kim Kardashian, your friend. What you tell her, Kelly?
What you gonna tell her?
Well, she's a Libra, so that part. But I would tell her that they definitely need to come to an understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about the kids. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't make it work, and that happens sometimes. Relationships don't always last forever. But when you have kids involved, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game. And as far as the co-parenting, to me, I don't get it, because you guys, they should have come together before they even thought about having kids to see how they want to raise their children. That's when you have
Kelly, baby, I love you. I love you, Kelly. I love you to the depths of you. But baby, I did not. When I had kids, I would say, "Oh, listen, I'm gonna tell you your experience." I was like, "Oh, I want my kids to go to a black college." Oh, I want to have a black experience. Oh, my ex-husband looked at me like, "Is you crazy? I don't want my kids to go to a black college." And we was arguing over that. So I'm telling you, Kelly,
before you had kids or when after you had the kids?
After we had kids, I was like, "Oh, I want my
That's
son."
the point. People be too that people look. You married him, and he might have been a good boyfriend, good, whatever husband. But then it's like kids can make and break a relationship. That's why before even getting into I guess this is my behavior science degree popping up. Before you even have children, like these are the discussions that need to be had, because maybe you guys aren't really right for each other for real. But it's like, unfortunately, this stuff happens.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think that I know the conversation we had about what we want to name our kids, but it wasn't like, oh, what college they gonna go to, what they gonna be in like.
But that's the conversations that need to be had.
I know, but I'm just saying sometimes the conversation ain't about we ain't thinking about kids.
I know what y'all thinking about. Mm-hmm. The way them babies is made.
Okay.
But this is the thing. Okay, because I want to back up a little bit. I like I said, I stand 10 toes down, but I really feel like a lot of times we're not thinking. Like I feel like people, they not really thinking. They just having kids, but they not really thinking how it affects the children.
Yes, and you're right. And this I will go back to Yellow's conversation when Yellow said that he can't be around his kid because the grandmama don't like him, or the grandmama is in the way. So it's women in the way of good brothers. Yellow, all I see about Yellow is a good brother. I don't see anything bad. I don't know him like that, but I don't, as a first impression, that brother like he a good brother. So why is he can't see his kid?
Well, Yellow should go to court. Why Yellow? Why can't you go to court?
But sometimes it's not as easy as we say it. If we say go to court, but what if he ain't got the means of the opportunity? And what if he just trying to get his life together and trying to take care of his other kids?
How many kids he got?
I don't know how many kids. I'm just saying I don't know.
How many baby mamas he got? That's the point I'm saying. I'm Yellow. We picking on you, but that's the point I'm saying. You have all these men. You know who you should be talking about is freaking Nick Cannon, because he got 6 baby mamas and 12 kids.
There we go, the extreme negative black man example. There we go
but you're talking about.
There we go again.
How was that negative? I didn't say anything negative about him. I just said when you want to talk about co-parenting, that is a prime example of who you need to talk about, because how are they co-parenting? And because he's not in a relationship with any of the mothers, right? He's not with any of the mothers, but it's like that would be a really great example of how they're able to co-parent. Like, what is the secret? Because I never hear anything. I mean, you never hear Nick Cannon's baby mamas going on TV. Well, one did, crying, but other than that, out of 6, she be about to have 7. So out of the 5, none of them have an issue. Like, that is who we need to be talking to, because they got the sauce right there.
What up, Yellow? Yellow?
What's good, y'all? Can y'all hear me real quick? Y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, what's good, y'all? What's good, y'all?
Hey, Yellow.
Big dog, what's going on, family?
Man, at the gig, real I had to come out. I ain't coming to defend because with my situation, there's details to it. It wasn't the greatest relationship and shit like that. It had its situations. But my issue when I say her mom is an issue is because there was no considering me in the factors, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's no considering me in the situation, which is what's going on with Kanye West. There's no considering him as the father. His thing that he's been saying is everybody else got their hand in the pot, when it should be him and the mother figuring out this situation. So
I thought he
that's
had
the issue.
50-50 custody.
You no, he don't. If he
No, he
did,
doesn't.
we wouldn't even be dealing with this situation. We'd be talking about something else right now. You know what I'm saying?
He has, but she has physical custody, but he does has 50-50 custody in a sense of the kids live with her, but she is in medical things. She had they have to have a conversation and in the school, kids school, all that have the conversation, but she has majority of the custody because the kids live with her.
Right. Yeah. So it's more.
Yeah, so in terms of the relationship, or in terms of the way it's documented on paper, the 50-50 pretty much relates to the visitation and up to the amount of time that he's able to have. But because the child is, they cohabit with the mother, she holds the majority of the controls in terms
Kind of be like this, right? Kelly, look at your stance on this entire thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice that you said you 10 toes down? You really ain't trying to hear no other opinions on it. It's not really moving the needle, right? How
No,
would
that's
a
not
man
true.
hold on. It kind of is. But how would a man be able to co-parent with that level of stubbornness? Because there is no seeing the other side. Now, I agree you've kind of come off your stance a little bit, right? But it always kind of come back to the dad doing this and the dad doing that. Co-parenting don't work unless it's cooperation on both sides. It's called co-parenting. You know what I'm saying? And the idea of co-parenting really ain't the two parents working together. It's usually the dad kind of going along with the mom's program. Kind of, you know what I'm saying, falling in line with what she want and how she wanted to go. So it don't. It
Well,
don't
no,
even
actually,
really be.
y'all don't know y'all facts because it's stated right here in court documents that Kanye has 50% physical and legal custody. The
What does
issue
that
is
mean?
that Kim Kardashian don't like it that he is, that he has certain things like I don't want my kids on social media, blah blah blah, and she doesn't want it. I mean, that's the only thing they have, their little quirks. You know what I'm saying? They don't have realistic issues like the person down the street have with custody. That's why it's
Right.
like,
But they don't have.
I mean, you can't really
50-50
compare the two to like everyday person. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
They
Kelly,
don't have true 50-50
Kelly,
custody.
Kelly, let me get this scenario, Kelly. So, we married. Okay, we married. We got kids. We divorced.
Me and you?
Yeah, me and you, Kelly. Come on now, me and you
Woo,
married.
getting spicy. Let's go.
we got about 3 kids. We divorced now, and you want little Johnny to play basketball, and I want little Johnny to play soccer because basketball might hurt his ACL. I don't know, but we arguing. And what you gonna do, Kelly?
I'm gonna ask Johnny. Johnny, what do you want to do? Do you want to do basketball? Do you want to sport? Johnny might say I don't want to do either. And if that's the case, then I'm gonna respect it. I don't understand why this custody thing would people be having, is a bad thing. Co-parenting. It seemed like it's pretty easy to me.
No, it's not, baby. This shit is hard. This is a bitch. When you don't like somebody and you
don't like somebody
and you don't like him and you can't stand the water that he walk on, and then you got kids with him, and then you got to see him every other weekend, and then he got a new bitch. Oh hell no, this shit is hard. And then
did you see the situation? See, you're comparing to one because every situation is different. And so that's why it's kind of hard for some people to.
crying, and Kim is crying because she said, "This is shit. It's hard because I got an ex-husband who's passing out on, and he's an entertainer too. He got 1,000 of social media, so he can make me look bad too. And because let's be honest and clear, when he put out that he didn't know what his daughter's birthday party was, I was online saying that's that bullshit. That bitch is wrong. I said that bitch is wrong. He should know what his baby birthday party is.
Right.
So I'm saying she's gaslighting.
But they extra. They always been extra. But that is not what the typical person is going through. And like
Kelly,
I said, I feel like
Kelly, it could be simple as remember I told you my daughter had breast reduction surgery, and her dad think she didn't need to have it, and I'm saying, oh yeah, she gonna have this surgery. She too big up top.
Right.
So I'm saying, baby, it could be simple as a piece of candy. It could be simple as a breast reduction. It could be simple as just the kids.
No, that's a huge decision though. Like that's having candy and having a medical procedure. I mean, that's difficult. I mean, you can't compare those two together. You can't.
Okay, I got one for you. My son tore his ACL. At a football game. Daddy called me. He said, "Dre, meet me at the hospital." I said, "What you say again?" He said he tore his ACL. I said, "Okay, I'm on my way to the hospital." And I'm saying, "Okay." The doctor said, "Miss Lynch, you got to have surgery." I said, "Got to have surgery? Do you know how much this shit costs? This is a lot." This ain't no joke. This is he plays. Do you know, Kelly? He tore his ACL and finished the football game. I'm like, how the fuck you let him do that? He was like, "Mama, I didn't know."
Kids cost money.
So I'm saying is and when we don't live in the same house, you got your house, I got my house, and you already paying me child support too.
I'll be honest with you, in terms of there's going to be certain things that there's no way, and I understand about the behavioral science degree, but the thing is, there's going to be things that you're not going to be able to preempt and figure out or have agreements on. Yes. Life is too plentiful. You know, my lady and I have been together, right? We have a child together. We have a 6-year-old and everything, right? Mm-hmm. And my 6-year-old had told her, yeah, she wants to play violin. And when her mom told me, I said, we need to lean her into keyboard, into piano. Why? Because of the digitization of music. If you know how to play the keyboard with digitization, rather, you can, go into Pro Tools or Logic or Reason, and you'll be able to play the violin, and it'll be a digitized violin. But as long as you know how to play the keys, and I spoke to everybody that I know that played violin. I spoke to the cost of violin. You don't have to upgrade your piano when you're teaching a kid on a 52 key piano, but on the violin, as they grow, you got to get them a bigger violin and this, that, and the other. So there was a real debate, and her debate was, well, if that's what she says that she wants, and then my thing was, but we're supposed to shape what they want. I said that's what Tiger Woods' dad did. That's what Shaq's stepdad did. You know what I'm saying? That's what that Joseph Jellybean Bryant, Kobe's dad, did. You know what I mean? Even when them boys was tired and their feet was hurting, they made them keep doing it, and they shaped the direction. But in that conversation, I had to understand as well that this is her first child, her only child. You understand? And she sees things, and she said, well, what if, you have those kids that just did things because their parents wanted them to? And she was making very valid arguments, which were totally antithetical or opposite to what I was saying. But I had to understand that. And in terms of that argument, of course, you know how your sister do, she makes good money as well. You know what your sister do? Fucking, well, I'm going to go buy the violin myself then. You don't got to help me with it. Right? When that wasn't, but hear me out. I'm saying that's the natural, crazy, beautiful, unspecified aspects of love and life. You get me? So we're not going to be able to figure out every single conversation. This is how we learn. We
Right. And
consistently and continuously learn with each
right.
person that we're with. Even 30 years down the line, you're going to learn something even more because you've been with that person 30 years.
Yeah, the thing about that is like,
Chef, can you drop a link for Yellow again, please?
I don't know how to drop a link.
I got you.
I really got on my dangle self. Can you do it, Chef? Okay, so let me speak about that. Okay, I feel like certain things, yeah, kids, they need to experience. Like if they want to try something, you should let a child be autonomous. This is coming from the educational side. If a kid want to learn, try something new, okay, let them do it. But when it comes to things that's more serious, yes, that's what your parents are there for. Your parents are the ones that's supposed to make those really major decisions that's going to affect the child's life. Getting a violin to me is like, hey, just let her have the dang violin. She want to do the violin. She probably only do it for a couple of months and then be like, that's how I was with the flute. I'm like, I want to play the flute. Got me a flute. I paid the flute about 6 months and I'm like, I want to play the drums now. That's a kid thing. But if I said as a child, I want to have a sex change, then that's a whole nother situation. You know what I'm saying? Like you do have to have parents make certain
Kelly,
decisions.
hold on, baby. It's a prime example. Named Dwayne Wade and his ex-wife is in court right now arguing over this. Okay, so we're not agreeing. We're not agreeing. Okay, we're not agreeing, Kelly. Okay, they in court right now. Dwayne feel like his daughter, his daughter wants to have a sex change. The mama said, wait till she get 18. We ain't agreeing. So
that's what I'm saying. But you saying the same thing I'm saying. As adults, y'all have to come and make that decision. I feel like as a child, no, you should not be getting a sex change as a child. Like, because then because childs always change their minds. Just like I said, I want to play the flute. 6 months later, I want to play the drums. It's like kids, they don't know. They just into the moment. They into like whatever their friends are doing, or whatever they see. Now, what if that child gets a sex change operation? Their brain hasn't even fully developed. Now they're an adult and he's like, I don't want to be a woman no more. It's too late.
And Dwayne Wayne said,
but as an adult,
Dwayne Wayne said, I got custody of my child. You ain't been in his life for a minute, and we don't have to listen to you. And she's saying, but I'm his mother. And he's saying, and that's what's happening, Kelly. That's real life.
No, I get it. I mean, I get it. And there's sometimes there's going to be some things you just don't agree upon. You know what I'm saying? But then that's when you go to court and you you have to let certain people step in, and that's what I'm saying.
This is interesting.
I'm just saying for me and my own personal opinion, and I got family and friends who don't been through this co-parenting. It's a bitch. Okay. It's a bitch. So people can
certain subjects I can see.
People can lie all they want to. Oh, co-parenting is cool. They lying through their damn teeth. Okay. This shit is a bitch. Okay. Sometimes we got to compromise. Sometimes we don't want to compromise. And sometimes the daddy just don't want to argue with me no more. So he just let me keep on talking. And he gonna say, all right, Andrea. Okay. Cause maybe he tired of me hounding down his damn neck and saying what I'm gonna do. And these are my children instead of our children. Because women say that a lot too. We say my children, that's my son, that's my daughter, and we don't say that's our children.
When they do wrong, we be like, yeah, your son. You know what your son
did. You act just like your daddy.
Yep, you act just like your daddy.
But see, I guess like being in the field, like I know it's. I mean, I would never take being a parent lightly. I mean, I feel like that's a big thing on both sides. Like bringing a life into this world, I would never. Yeah, I was like, no, I'm good. Because it's a lot of responsibility, and I feel like people just be having kids and they just don't realize how, they don't realize how, oh my God.
Let me tell you this, Kelly. You mold and you shape them. And I will tell you this: my son is 23 years old, and I love my son like my own grandson. I love my son, but I have had prominent conversations with him about child support, alimony, and supporting, because he have told me this. He says, "Mom, I want to have kids under one roof." He have told me that since he was about 8 years old. When I have children one day, I want kids under one roof. And my son doesn't even remember the day me and his daddy stopped living together. And he have told me, he's 23. And every time we talk about kids and when he get married and have children, he see everybody under one roof. And that has played a profound effect on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent him to his daddy when he was between 10 and 11 years old, because I couldn't raise a man. I know who I am. I mean, I might have, they like sometimes I got strong, but I don't. I'm still a woman. I'm feminine. I can't raise a man. I understood that my ex-husband was his father and he needed his father, and I was okay with that. But that's the hardest.
Thank you for your service.
That's the hardest decision. I will tell you, that was my baby that I ever did in my life. And I told him this: don't think that I'm leaving you. Just think that you're in college and I will see you every other weekend. Just put it that way, because this is something will be good for you. And you will be, when you come back to see me, you will be the man that I know your daddy have taught you. And every time he do dumb shit, but I'll be like, thank God that he told me this. All his friends got criminal records, and all his friends didn't have a daddy, but he did.
So do you think even if the parents aren't together, it's still important for the child to be in both parents' lives, correct?
Yes. But I think
so.
I will tell you this: if it's a man child, I will say at a certain point that man child need to go live with his father. I can't teach my son how to be a man. I can give him all the love and nurturing I can, but being a man, my son, his father gonna have to teach that. I can't teach my son when he get pulled over 20 times because he driving black. His father have experienced that. I don't know what that is.
Andrea Lynch. Excuse me, not Andrea Lynch, but YouTube community. If you guys haven't understood it, I tell her that on the phone all the time. Andrea, you realize that you are a red pill conservative?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be you and just pearly things up there in a minute, yo. Keep cooking, man. I'm gonna say nothing. Go ahead.
I definitely think if it's a man child, he need to go live with his father at a certain point in his life. Because a father is going to show him how to be a man child. I remember this. My son had a party. At his daddy's house, and I was at fault too. I was supposed to go pick him up, but I was too motherfucking tired. I didn't feel like going down the Lodi in 30 minutes, and so I said, "Baby, I'll come down the next day and pick you up." He had a party at his daddy's house, and his daddy put him out, and I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, and I was like, oh my God. And
Daddy was out. Daddy was going for the weekend.
Daddy was gone for the weekend. And I was supposed to pick him up. And I was like, I don't feel like coming down. I'm tired. I was got to work. And he had a party. And I was like, why you didn't call me and my best friend to help clean that damn house up? You know how your daddy is about that damn house? We would have cleaned that shit up before he even got home. And he was like, Mama, I didn't know. And I was like, oh my God, I had to take him back and forth to school to Lodi. And it was driving me crazy. I had to call my ex-husband and say, look, I can't do this no more. Take him back. I cannot do this. He said, I'm going to send him to Georgia. I said, over my dead body, you sending my son to Georgia. And I finally got his dad to take him back. And I told my son, don't you ever put me in a position that I got to argue with your daddy. And I gotta drag up old bones that they're supposed to be healing. to get your daddy to take you back. Don't you ever, as long as your name is Quentin Lynch, put me in a position to argue with your daddy like this. Because the next time you have a damn party at his house, your ass is going to Georgia. Okay?
Do they still have a good relationship, the kids and your ex?
They see their daddy every week. He drive up here. He have lunch with them. They like, I told you, he come and stay them all the time. Their daddy is their hero. Even all the shit I talk about their daddy, I told him he was the hero. He was gonna always come and stay with them.
Successful Black entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that's the norm nowadays?
What? What's the norm?
The way that your ex treats his kids. I mean, you know, not being in the same household with the mother.
But there's a difference. Me and Ronnie grew up. I knew Ronnie ever since I was a baby. Okay. At the end of the day, he might not have been a great husband to me, but I always knew he was a damn good father. I always knew he put the family first. I always knew that. I have never underestimated what kind of father he was going to be. I knew he was going to be a great father. Because why? He still had his father, and he still got his father right now. And I have seen him put his whole entire family on his back. I know what kind of man he is because my father trained him. I know what kind of man he was going to be because my father trained him in the profession that he's in. He should get to the next level. So will I ever worry about him protecting, providing? He was always good with that. And let me tell you something. Even though we was divorced, he still protected and provided for the family. My car got repossessed. Okay. I thought I was grown. I'm buying my own new car. Oh, I'm away from my ex-husband. And honey, I couldn't pay it. The next week he bought me a car. Every time Andrea Lynch moved, who moved me? He did. So the love from me and him never changed. It's just we couldn't be together. I had to grow up. But he was always a good father. And anytime he wanted to see his kids, come and get your kids. When I went on vacation, he had the kids. When he went on vacation, I had the kids. That was in the court papers.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't want nobody else. And my parents wasn't happy that I married him. So they wasn't helping. But his mama and daddy always helped me with the children. My kids.
So I don't understand why it was so hard to co-parent if he was such a great man.
Kelly, because it was me. I'm trying to tell you, it wasn't him. It was me. I was difficult.
I think that's the part. You know, I'm jumping in a little bit. I think that's the part where Kelly, it seems that it's hard for you to wrap your mind around.
No, I see now. No, this is the thing about it, Chef. I didn't have all the information. You know what I'm saying? I have all the information now, so I understand what the dynamic and what was going on. I didn't know that. When I was basing this off of, originally, it was off of the post. Then it was like, it's not about the post, it's about co-parenting. I was bringing in my experiences from my jobs, from personal experiences, family, stuff like that. But it's basically, you guys are showing a different view of when it's the woman. See, like I said, for me personally, I didn't see a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I seen a lot of women who had to leave because of more extreme things. But I think her sharing her story is good because it will kind of bring to light those conversations that we don't talk about. Because we don't talk about that. Like you said, Chef, like, well, girl, why you always to be to the extreme? Because that's what we know. We know the extremes. So that is what is going to be brought up. But you know, I mean, it's good. I feel like it's healthy and that is needed, that all sides are represented and all sides are shown, you know, just like how men can walk out, women can walk out too. And it's not because the man did something, you know.
Kelly, your camera is on, Kelly. Kelly, your camera is on.
Okay. What happened?
Yeah, let us see them set it off braids. Come on and
Right,
show it.
and then,
Yeah, let us see them set it off
wait.
braids.
Speaking
I
speaking
did
about
have some more
Kelly,
breaks.
speaking about Kelly's camera being on, y'all might want to go visit her channel afterwards and check out her bikini wax video, Brazilian wax video.
Okay.
She on that other stuff right now. You know what I mean?
But yes, and nobody, I mean, really ain't nobody gonna really tell you that she don't act the damn fool on their ex-husband. She don't cuss them out. She have
Exactly.
I mean, ain't no black woman gonna tell you that, but I did. Okay.
But we need to know that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think it's good for it to come out, because when you see them Tyler Perry movies, you don't see that.
Yeah, but let me tell you something, Kelly. My neighbor, me and my ex-husband, we got it too. I was like, you can't. He said, I'm here to get the kids, Andre. I here to talk to you. I said, okay, here your kids. And he started moving his truck, and I was on top of his truck. My neighbor called my brother, said, your sister is out here crazy. Come and get her. My neighbor said, your sister is on a moving car. That's how bad I was. I was like, I was like, I don't know what the hell I was doing. Crazy, just crazy.
That's how bad she is now. She just got bad knees, so she can't jump on trucks no more.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that dumb shit. But to be honest, I know black women are doing this to I know women are doing this. It ain't just black women. Women are doing this to the men. Women are being abusive basically to their baby daddy who don't want to be with them anymore, but they want to be in their children's lives, and they use the kids as a pawn. They use the kids as a pawn. And at times I did too. I was like, you ain't come to get these kids. Call the police.
No, actually that is, I mean, you hear about the stories of the crazy baby mama kind of situation. I mean, you hear that from guys all the time. But I mean,
do you hear a woman saying that was me? Do you hear a woman saying,
you wasn't a crazy baby mama. You as a wife, who was divorced, who now had to, you had mixed emotions, but like you said, you had to, I'm not making excuses for you. I'm just saying, like, you have to do a lot of healing within yourself, like I always say, you can't be right with somebody else until you're right with yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Kind of situation.
And we can and thank God that we can look back and laugh and say that was that dumb shit. We was dumb. We done some dumb shit. I can look back and laugh and say it was that dumb shit. But it did cause my ex-husband pain. Yeah, I caused him some pain. I called him everything but a son of God, Kelly. I talk about his mama, and I knew how he felt about his mama because I knew it can get it under his skin.
But why'd you want to hurt him so bad?
In my mind,
is it because like you was hurting, and it's that hurt people, or you was trying to? I mean, what was it?
It was some days, Kelly. I was out my crazy.
Can I ask that question a little different?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Did you feel like that was what you were supposed to do, or how you were supposed to act in that situation?
Yella, I would be honest, I was just acting the motherfucking out. It didn't
right. Right, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like, not like, do you feel like you was right, but do you feel like those were the actions that you were supposed, like, this is how I'm gonna handle it because I'm supposed to handle it like this. You know what I'm saying?
You know
where you learned that from, Yella?
No, but this
I mean, that's kind of. I mean, the unfortunate part is that Andrea's position in her story ain't that rare. You know what I'm saying?
But let me say this. Yeah, I understand. I would say, look, I didn't. Okay. I didn't start like cussing until after he left. I didn't use cuss words. I was from the church. So when he told his mother I was cussing, she was like, no, that little girl don't cuss, little bit don't cuss. He was like, mama, she cussing. He recorded me, and his mama said, oh my God, baby, you really cussing. Like a shift changed in me. I don't know, a shift, like a shift, I don't know, in my mind and my mental state, a shift changed in me, and I became one angry black woman. I was really nice and sweet girl that he married, and yes, and I would do everything, iron my husband clothes for the week and all that kind of shit. But when he broke up and left me, a shift came in me, in my mind, and I became nasty as you can think about a woman could be nasty to a man.
But do you blame him?
Did I blame him?
Do you blame him now for now that you've gone to therapy, see how you were? Like, do you blame?
No, because I don't
blame
Ronnie. I don't blame Ronnie. Okay, baby. Okay, baby. I don't blame Ronnie because I will be honest, I wasn't happy in that marriage. I wasn't happy. I didn't want to be there. I felt like I was stagnated. I remember I got married at my parents' house. And so when I divorced Ronnie and I actually started traveling and doing things and be able to see myself, I grew up. And when I wanted the relationship to come back, it was too late. And maybe that was a shift. That shift is like the shift that I wanted to come back, but it was too late. I already done the damage to him. A lot of damage. Right. A lot of damage that he's still recovering to this day.
You went in pretty hard, just what you shared. So
I mean, I'll say this. There's a lot of shows where Andrea has shared, a lot of stuff. But one thing that we have to appreciate, and I think that myself and Victor Free's music also appreciates, is the honesty within what she's willing to share. Yeah. And in the end, understanding, I was on that bullshit in this situation. And I think that, for me, was probably part of the over-encompassing conversation that we having today about the whole co-parenting and, if we trust Kim's tears. At this point, it's not about us trusting her tears. It's about her taking personal accountability for the actions that she's taken and understanding the ecosystem she exists in. And that's the key. And I think for any of us, in order to make co-parenting work, the co also is the beginning 2 letters of compromise. Compromise is critical in terms of us being able to co-parent, and in order for us to be able to cooperate, in order for us to be able to commingle. All of those co's are critical within this dynamic. So what I take from this whole conversation, honestly, is understanding me as a person that co-parents as well. Understanding that I need to come to the table not thinking about what she did or what she didn't do. I have to think about what I need to do and what I need to, handle within myself in order to make that cooperation optimal.
And at the end of the day, I will say this: me and Ronnie understood that Veronica and Quentin are our first priorities. It didn't matter how we felt or what we still feel, and we can still talk about what happened in our marriage right now. And he about to get a divorce, okay? But we have 2 grown children, and they're loving people and caring, and just because of the good, the bad, and the difference of what we did. But we had to recognize that Veronica and Quentin are the most important part of this co-parenting, because that makes us family. Veronica and Quentin makes us family. And let me tell you something. My mom and my brother, they always kiki and laugh and say that nigga left you for a white woman, blah, blah, blah. But I tell my parents this. I said, let me tell you something. Don't you ever say nothing about my children daddy in front of my kids. That is still their hero, and he gonna stay their hero. I told my family that. So even my mom took the kids down to the church house. I said, let me tell you something, mama. If your little women friends that I can't stand say anything about my kids' daddy, tell them it's on and cracking. And this ain't little bit. This Andrea Lynch. I'ma cuss their asses out about my kid's daddy. My mama said, girl, go somewhere, sit down. Ain't nobody gonna say about them kids, daddy. I said, okay, mama, I'm warning you. They daddy is still their daddy. He gonna always be their hero. Now I can say what the hell I want to say about him, but I ain't gonna let you say about what you want to say about him. I got a right. I was the wife. So did tell my mother that. And she said, okay, I hear you, daughter.
No, I was saying I agree with Chef. Like, I don't know the old Andrea, so I have nothing to compare it to. I just know the Andrea that I met. And that is crazy. That's crazy. Like the stuff that you had went through.
Yeah, I mean, it look, the good, the bad, the ugly, it makes Andrea who she is. Do I say I wish I could did things better? I wish I could communicate better with my ex-husband. And Kelly, do you know I was that bad that Ronnie would say, Andrea, I'm at work. What you want? Hear me out. He would hang the phone up on me. Kelly, I would call his phone 100 times. That's how bad I was. But see, I don't do that no more. See, my therapist helped me with the tools. When he say, I don't want to hear what you got to say, you have a nice day. Okay, Ronnie, you have a nice day. He was like, huh? Yeah, you have a nice day. I'm not going to argue with you like that no more. I'm different. I got to be the change. If I want to change behavior, I got to be the change. Because I've been telling me, I'm going to change. I'm going to do better. He was like, you know how many times you told me that? I got to be better. So when I wanted to argue, and he was like, I don't feel this. I don't like this. Bye, Andrea. Ain't nobody call back. Ain't nobody ring his phone number. I didn't cuss him out. I didn't lead on that. I didn't lead on nasty text messages. I didn't lead on nasty voicemail. Because if I want to change in his behavior, I got to be better. And my therapist said, if I won't change, it starts with me. I can't point the finger at him and say he doing this. It's me got to change. And when I change my behavior, he changed his behavior. Because he told the children that he didn't cuss like a sailor, like his mama, but she made me cuss like a sailor. That's what he told the kids. So I had to change my behavior. And when I changed my behavior, we communicated better. And when I was ready to cuss his ass out, Kelly, don't get me wrong. When I was ready to cuss his ass out, I dialed my girlfriend. Girl, let me cuss you out because I'm mad at Ronnie. She's like, come on with it, Andrea. Because I'd rather you cuss me out than cuss him out. So I had to change my behavior. And change that behavior is I had to, sometimes men don't like disrespect. And Andrea Lynch, see, my daddy didn't tolerate that bullshit, but Andrea Lynch was a wild card. And I would just be okay. I'll be disrespectful. And I had to change my behavior. And I had to see I caused a lot of the stress of the co-parenting because I wasn't acting right. I was acting a damn fool. I was cussing him out. I was being nasty. I was using his mama. I was using the kids. I was using the kids as a weapon against him.
I see. So it's very eye-opening. Like the countertransferences in this situation is not what I perceive them to be based on how you are now. Mm-hmm. So I didn't, like in the past.
Yeah. But when you love,
a lot of hurt. But you know what? It kind of goes across. I mean, it's a kind of like a bigger picture also, because it's not just about co-parenting, but it's also about like mental health and stuff. And
and he told me, he's like, I believe you bipolar. I said, I ain't bipolar. You and the kids is just talking crazy. My therapist said I wasn't bipolar. She just said I was just acting out because I didn't know how to. Because I had a parent. My dad was like, how you feel, we don't care. So I never was able to express how I feel about things. And then when I got divorced, I was like, I don't care how you feel. This time, everybody's gonna hear me. Everybody's gonna hear me. Everybody.
So basically, it's like you was tantruming like a child when you didn't get your way.
Yes, I was. I was having a big hissy fit, tantrum. He would tell his mom, Audrey was having a tantrum. Yes. Yes. Yes, I was. And so what I'm saying is I have seen my guy friends go through this. I have seen my guy friends go through this. I have seen my guy friends with their baby mamas arguing about something that it's silly. So I tell my friends who going through a divorce, I would tell my enemy, don't gaslight him. Try to compromise. At the end of the day, the kids are the major thing. And at the end of the day, the kids are your family. The kids make y'all family. The kids do. Because if I didn't have no kids with Ronnie, I would have said sayonara and never have to ever see you. But we have children together. And when my daughter friends would come on and say, Andrea, that's the baby mama. I said, wait a minute, baby. I was the wife. I was never my baby mama. I became a baby mama after I divorced the man. Let's get that straight. Baby, it ain't a badge of honor to be my baby mama. I hate that Fantasia damn song. It's so ghetto. I hate that song. That's the most song she ever fucking made. You know, badge of honor to be somebody's baby mama. It's a badge of honor to be a wife. And that's what I tell my children. So if we want our black men to be better, we want our black women to be better, we want the community to be better, we got to do better ourselves. Take accountability on all the courts. And if Kim Kardashian with that crying tears, Kim Kardashian didn't take accountability. What did you do that make him a spaz out? What did you do to make him make co-parenting hard for you? Don't take accountability. That's all
I definitely
I'm saying.
believe it starts with our community. Before you even get into a relationship, it starts with the community. Right.
So we have to take accountability for everything. It ain't just it ain't Ronnie's over there. Bob did Andrea. No, what did Andrea do to Ronnie? What did Andrea say nasty to Ronnie? What did Andrea was just talking about his mama and knowing he loved his mama? And Kelly, you think I was that bad? Let me tell you something. My ex-husband got married. I had to get the kids' wedding, and his mama came pick the kids up, and I cussed her ass out. That's how bad I was. Yes. But his mother forgave me because she knew the pain I was going through. And to this day, I love her, and I would go visit her anytime. That's how bad I was.
Oh, you were like, because you were mad because she was taking the kids to the wedding.
To the wedding. My children.
Okay. You was lashing out on the situation, not really so much her. She was just a casualty in it.
Yeah, she was a casualty of war because I thought it was disrespectful that I got to get my children ready for his wedding. I was like, what the hell?
Right.
I thought it was disrespectful. So I cussed his mama out because I know that's the closest thing to him. That's how bad I was, Kelly. Ain't nobody gonna tell you that. Ain't no black woman gonna get on. Ain't no woman gonna get on YouTube and say that's how bad she was, but that's how bad I was.
You right, because I've never heard that before.
I cussed his mama out. See, that's what I'm saying is we are using the kids as pawns. And all I'm saying, if I was Kim Kardashian's friend, baby, take accountability. What part you played in it? Go back and negotiate a little with them. Go see a therapist. Why don't y'all go see couples therapy to communicate better? So when y'all are with the kids, y'all ain't got to argue. And Kanye ain't got to get online and say, I don't know what my baby birthday party is. Because let me tell you something. Even though I might not agree with everything Kanye do, and he always doing dumb shit, I definitely believe in my heart that he's a good father.
Oh yeah.
And the reason I will say that because I have watched interviews that he said that that he was taken away from his father. He don't want that for his kids. Not no man. Get out of there.
And the problem is that what us men can probably start to admit is that a good father and a good husband or boyfriend don't necessarily have to be in the same person. Like he don't necessarily have to be a good husband, make y'all relationship a fall apart or whatever. That don't make him any less of a good father. You know what I'm saying? Or any less of a active, capable participant in parenting the kids. And I think that's more or less of the situation that a lot of times just running into is that, you know what I'm saying? Either parent is mad at their ex. It's more or less another element of the breakup. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, it's kind of like that, how can I put it? That animosity that person ain't with you no more. Or you see them going to be happy, or you see them living, you know what I'm saying, that people really don't like.
Yes, Kelly. Yes.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And you have to, that's what I recognize. And I told my mother this. I love my mother. Okay, baby. I told my mother, I said, Ronnie is a great father. Because Ronnie at times have put me and these kids first. He's a great father. And I want my kids to know that their daddy can walk on water. Their daddy is their hero. Good, bad, or indifference. And to this day, that man is still their hero. Because why? I had a hero. His name was William Thompson. That was my father. It didn't matter what my mama said about my daddy. She said, your daddy will always be there for you. So I wanted my kids to have to experience the hero like my daddy is. Even though he didn't live in the house with me. So I think a man don't always have to be a good husband to be a good father. We have to separate the two. It's a difference. Being a good husband to me and being a good father to your kids is two different things. Okay, baby. So I'll say women out there, learn the difference. It's a difference. He can be a good father and not be a good husband. But let him be a father to his children. Because if you want to have statistics and you want to say something about kids, as long as they know their father and spend time with their father, they will be different children. And you don't want women for the streets. If they don't have their father in their life, yeah, they be for the streets. But if they got their father, they got a certain different standard. I'm just saying. Because we just had a conversation about Carisha and Puffy. And women on YouTube was telling me, well, Carisha, if she getting money, what's the difference? And I'm saying is, baby, I got self-respect for myself. I'm going to get my own money. So that's the difference. But I have heard grown women my age saying, well, what's the difference? If he paying her bills, if he doing this, if he doing that, then what do we tell our young girls then? Go after the man for money to take care of them? I always been a hustler. I've been a hustler since I was 22 years old. I got 3 or 4 jobs. Because I learned it from my mama and daddy. And like I said yesterday on a live, if you got foster girls, if you got girls looking up to Shakrisha and Puffy, what do we say for our youth? I'm just saying.
Shakrisha, though. You cooking?
Shakrisha. Her name is Shakrisha. But I say it wrong.
I think it's Carisha.
Carisha. Like okay, that's what her name is. But the women
listen, YouTube. We love when you say shit wrong, yo. I think that's the beauty of you, man. Keep going, yo. We know what you mean, fam.
It was okay, and I'm saying is, what do you say? Look at Cassie. She spent 10 years with Puffy. He ended up he didn't marry her, but she married another man and had 2 kids. You gonna waste your time, waste your youth? But the women were saying, get your money, baby, but however you get it. I'm like, what? No. I tell my girls go to college. I tell my girls get self-respect. I tell my girls get your own money. I tell my daughter that too. So the same advice I'm gonna give my daughter, I'm gonna give the girls in the streets. I'm gonna give the girls who I meet come in my life. So I'm just saying, if the elders ain't teaching the young ones, what are we doing? I'm just being honest. Because I'm not gonna never tell my daughter, well, you know, waste your time with somebody who you know ain't gonna marry you. Just that's another conversation, but it's good to have one with that, because that's something that it needs to be brought up. And this was somebody did say, how you was raised is maybe the reason you have a different story, and maybe the reason you have a different aspects and different experience. But this has been a great conversation. I thank you, Yella. I thank you, Kelly. I thank you, Chef. I
Thank you for having me.
Yes, this is my first time, and Kelly been up there. And Yella, you know I love you, and I hope that your situation works out for you, Yella. I really do, because I
She
think
like light skinned dudes, yo. So you know you was always on the good list.
Y'all bugging.
Yeah, you was always on the good list.
Wait. Yellow's not white?
No.
It's the colorism for me.
He's pescatarian. There's a difference.
No, but I hope things work out with you, Yella. I really do. And thank you. We got to do a show together, okay? I really like your platform and what you stand for. So I hope things work out with you, and you get to see it be around your son.
Thank you, y'all. Thank you. Everybody have a good night. I'll catch y'all later.
Okay.
Hold it down, fam.
Well, this was a great conversation, Chef. Thank you for my thumbnail. I appreciate it. A lot of people came in. I appreciate everybody who came in and listened. And you know, Andrea and Chef got a show coming soon. We got something coming soon. Y'all don't want to miss it, because it might blow y'all mind the way I feel about the situation. So
blow your mind.
So we got a show coming soon, and we got new content. Me and Chef, we've been thinking about some stuff. We got new content. I'm working on my 750. So I think my new subscribers. I appreciate everybody, and I'll be back. But this is a great conversation. I think co-parenting. We learned a lot. We learned a lot.
Definitely. And just to kind of wrap this up real tight. I wasn't trying to control the conversation when it came down to talking about specifically, you know, the Black aspect of the construct of co-parenting. But I think it was more of a universal conversation, because it impacts every single race.
Yes, it does.
And I think that it's less of a cultural phenomenon than people understand. Best way to say it is this. Every single person, every single race has some shit with them. Yes. Period, point blank. And I think the essence of the conversation was not to allow self-victimization to come into play, so that we take accountability and you know, take inventory for everything that we put out into that ecosystem. And that's why it was labeled asking about trusting or tears.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's about the 4 kids that they have. They might not always agree, but you have to come into the common denominator that we have 4 children, and we have to raise them to be the productive citizen of the United States, be good people, be loving people. It takes 2 of y'all to raise them, not 1.
Absolutely. But yo, thank you for having me on. Great idea. Thanks for sending me that link so we can actually have that conversation on the phone that turned it into this show. Yeah. So, this is how we do it, yo. It's organic in this piece. So let's keep it going. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and light to you. Peace, love, and light to Kelly the Green Vegan. Go check out her show. We got to push over her 500. We got to get her over that 500. She's almost there. So take a moment and go and take your ass over there. You know what I mean? And like I said, give y'all a little clickbait. The most recent video is her getting a Brazilian wax. All right. So, you know, and that stream is actually sponsored by Jergens Lotion. So go figure. All right. But anyway. But yo.
And go check out Yellow's page too.
Come on, man. Yellow Pill Coffee Company, man. This guy goes ham. He's on Twitch as well. You know. So make sure you check the homie out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, I will talk to y'all later.
Peace, Denise. Peace, love, and life. We out.
Bye-bye. Well, I thank you guys. I appreciate everybody coming in, listening. I know some stuff I missed, but I'm going to be checking them videos out. I appreciate everybody. I'll be back soon. I don't know when, but I'll be back soon. The kids are out of school for 2 weeks, so I might come back every day. I don't know. So I will talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Love in the ocean, but if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead. We could go all night.
I've been calm, cool, collected, but you pushing on my nerves, and knowing your intention, I'm under pressure. Okay, I'm admitting that a couple things I said got acidic in the tone, in the presence I get careless. Long as you know I come with imperfections. When you look at me, you see the soul through my flesh. You something special. Know you looking bomb the way you dressing, gone flex and hold it still and let my mind digest. You got the leverage. You got the upper handle on the situation. You worthy of a million more of the storms that we weather. We fight retreating, then fuck, but you trying to kill the cycle. When nobody stressing that body like me, I know the way you like it. I treat you like a queen, run the castle.
We could do it all night. We could go all night.
Bye-bye.